Good morning, class. So, today we'll be beginning with a new chapter, that is chemical coordination and integration. That is the 22nd chapter in your NCERT, but we are doing it first because every other system in our humans, that is in the human physiology, is connected directly or indirectly to the endocrine system only. So, let's discuss this endocrine system first before discussing rest of the 3 or 2 units or 3 or 2 chapters that are related to the physiology of humans. So, what is endocrine system? First of all, what are the two systems that regulates all the body activities in human beings, not just in human beings, in all the animals. So, the two basic systems which are mostly in the higher systems we are talking about, not in the lower organisms, because lower organisms हमने पढ़ा था when we were talking about animal kingdom कि बहुत सारे systems उनमें absent होते हैं और धीरे धीरे gradually when we move forward to the higher category or the higher phylums, then we can see that new systems were started to arise. But here we are talking about higher systems, and the most highest system is considered to be of the humans. That's why we are talking about humans as we are doing the unit human physiology. So, coordination of the activities in the humans are under the control of two different systems, that is the nervous system and the endocrine system. So how the two system regulates, we'll discuss that. First, the differences between the two systems. The nervous system, it is uh, making the different coordination activities in our body by transmitting इलेक्ट्रिकल इम्पल्सेस. तो एक चीज़ को दूसरे चीज़ से कनेक्ट करने के लिए या एक सिग्नल को रिसीव करके देन टू गिव a reaction to that, it is doing all this by transmitting electrical impulses. Whereas what is endocrine system doing? Endocrine system is transmitting the chemical biological messengers through impulses. So what are these chemical biological messengers? The hormones. But nervous system में ऐसे कोई भी hormones नहीं है. They are doing it with the electrical impulses, but यहाँ पे the hormones are being used in the endocrine system. Then the second one comes the use of the neurons to transmit the signals, and in the endocrine system the use of circulatory system is there to transmit the signal. That's why I made you to study circulatory system before endocrine system, because endocrine system uses the circulatory system to transmit various signals. Then the third one, the difference is signal transmission in the nervous system is fast comparative to the endocrine system, because as we all know that electrical impulses are comparatively fast if we consider or compare them with the hormones that are the biological chemical messengers. So that's why जो signal transmission nervous system है में है, that is comparatively quick than the endocrine system. Then the last one, the effect of the nervous system is localized. Localized means that if it has occurred, the effect of nervous system has occurred in the head region or in the brain region, तो वो वहीं पे accumulate हो जाता है, उसी region तक कन्फाइंड रहता है. बट एंडोक्राइन सिस्टम में ऐसा नहीं है. जो सिक्रीशंस होते हैं वो धीरे धीरे होते हैं, बट बहुत वाइड रेंज होता है उनका, और वो पूरी बॉडी को कवर कर सकते हैं. दैट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द नर्वस एंड endocrine system, and these both systems are considered to regulate all the body activities in the higher organisms, and here we are talking about the humans. Now we'll be talking what is endocrine system or what are the endocrine glands. The endocrine glands are those glands that lack any ducts, and therefore they are also called as a ductless gland. So there are two types of gland, the endocrine and the exocrine glands. What are the difference between the two? जो exocrine glands होते हैं वो जो अपने secretions होते हैं वो through duct के through वो secrete करते हैं, but in the endocrine glands they completely lack any ducts, and therefore इनके जो secretions है वो direct blood में dissolve होते हैं rather than going through any ducts, and that's why endocrine system are also called as the ductless system or the ductless glands. And the secretions of the endocrine glands are called hormones. कुछ कुछ ऐसे भी glands हैं जो जिनमें both endocrine as well as exocrine part होता है. The big example is pancreas, so they are called as the mixed glands. So now the secretions of the endocrine glands, whatever the endocrine gland, any endocrine gland and secreting that we were talking about, the biological chemical messengers, those are hormones. Now the Classical definition of hormone is as follows. What is the definition of hormones? What are actually hormones? Hormones are non-nutrient chemicals which act as intercellular messengers and are produced in trace amounts. So, they are non-nutrient chemicals, they are not of any nutrient value, and they are acting as intercellular messengers. Messengers means not within one cell but between two different cells. अब हमें अगर दो different cells को regulate करना है और उनको एक दूसरे से connect करना है, एक cell को stimulate करना है by the help of another cell, तो उनके बीच में जो messengers work करते हैं, those are the hormones. That's why they are the intercellular, not the intracellular, and they are produced in trace amounts. Trace amount means they are produced in very minor amounts, yet जो इनका effect होता है that is very wide. Then the third point, the invertebrates, they possess very simple endocrine systems with few hormones. As I told you कि जो lower organisms होते हैं उनमें systems बहुत ही ज़्यादा simple ones होते हैं और कुछ कुछ systems absent भी होते हैं. तो अगर हम invertebrates के बारे में बात करें तो they have endocrine system but that is very simple one, and only few hormones are present, whereas a large number of chemicals, they act as hormones and provide coordination in the vertebrates. But vertebrates में the case is different, that the hormones or the chemical that are being secreted are a little larger in amount if we compare it with the invertebrates. So this is the endocrine glands, what are regulating the activities in the bodies of higher animals as well as in lower animals. Now the human endocrine system. From here we'll be starting talking peculiarly about the human endocrine system only. What are the different glands that are present in the human endocrine system? The first is the pituitary gland. We are talking about these glands in the systemic order. मतलब ये हमारी body से ascending to descending कहाँ पे present है, on that basis we are talking about them. The pituitary gland is located in the brain region, that's why we are taking it first. Then comes the pineal gland. Pineal gland is also located in the somewhere in the brain region only. Then comes thyroid, which is present near the neck region. Then the parathyroid, which is present just below the thyroid region. Then comes the thymus gland, adrenal gland near the kidneys and pancreas. Then the gonads, testes and ovaries. So this is the ascending order according to which we are talking about the different glands in the human endocrine system. So the endocrine glands and hormones producing diffuse tissues or cells that are located in different parts of our body constitute the endocrine system. In the diagram you can see how different glands are there and what is the location of these different endocrine glands. So hypothalamus is present a little above. If we compare it with the pineal gland, then pineal gland, after pineal gland is present the pituitary gland, then comes the thyroid, then the parathyroid, then comes the thymus gland and pancreas, adrenal, testes and ovaries, that is the gonads, ovaries in female and testes in males. So pituitary, pineal, thyroid, adrenal, pancreas, parathyroid, thymus and gonads are the organized endocrine bodies in our body. So ये जो different glands हैं, they are considered to be as organized, मतलब इनमें ये they are considered to be as bodies जिनके अंदर जितनी भी चीज़ें हैं वो सब regulated manner में हो रही हैं, and they are a complete organized body, small bodies that are present in our large body. In addition to these, some other organs also produce hormones. So these are the main glands which are considered to be producing hormones. There can be some other elements also, those produce the hormones for different activities, but these are the main things that we'll have to discuss. Now comes the hypothalamus. So hypothalamus is a part of the brain, and we'll be talking about it in a very detail when we'll talk about the nervous system, but just for the brief, the hypothalamus is the basal part of diencephalon. Diencephalon again, it is the part of the brain only, or diencephalon के basement part में जो present होता है, that is called as the hypothalamus. The brain is divided into three different regions: the forebrain, the frontmost brain, the midbrain, then the hindbrain that is present at the backmost position. So the forebrain जो होता है हमारा, the brain part which is present just in front, it is said to be regulating a wide spectrum of body फंक्शंस, मतलब ये फोरब्रेन हमारी बहुत सारी डिफरेंट बॉडी फंक्शंस को रेगुलेट करता है एंड इट कंटेन्स सेवरल ग्रुप्स ऑफ न्यूरोसेक्रेटरी सेल्स कॉल्ड न्यूक्लियाई विच प्रोड्यूसेस हार्मोन्स। तो हाइपोथैलेमस के अंदर भी कुछ ऐसे डिफरेंट सेल्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं जो कि some nuclei produce करते हैं and these nuclei are considered to be producing the hormones. That's why as I told you in the previous slide कि ऐसी कुछ different cells भी होते हैं हमारी body में other than the different glands that we are going to study जो कि different hormones produce करते हैं। और ये जो hormones produce होते हैं by the neurosecretory cells of the forebrain, they are also said to be regulating the synthesis and secretion of pituitary hormones. So from here the pituitary hormones start to produce. The hormones produced by hypothalamus are of two types. The releasing hormones. What are the releasing hormones? They stimulate secretion of pituitary hormones, and the inhibiting hormones which inhibit secretions of pituitary hormones. तो hormones का secretion, release as well as उनका inhibition दोनों important है। कुछ कुछ जगह पे अगर इनका जो release है it will continue to be there, then it could lead to various problems. अगर कोई भी चीज़ हमारी बॉडी में एक्स्ट्रा अमाउंट में रिलीज होती है then it will start accumulating in our body. That's why it could be very harmful for our body. इसीलिए इनकी जो एंटागोनिस्टिक इन्हीं के जो ऑपोजिट काम करते हैं उन हार्मोन्स की भी हमारी बॉडी को ज़रूरत रहती है फॉर कंट्रोलिंग और मेंटेनिंग द बैलेंस. दैट्स वाई जो हार्मोन्स हाइपोथैलेमस प्रोड्यूस करता है दे आर मेनली ऑफ द टू टाइप्स. वन इज रिलीजिंग जो स्टिमुलेट करते हैं secretion. Stimulate means they start the secretion or they initiate the secretion of the pituitary hormones, and the second one is the inhibiting hormones जो inhibit करते हैं pituitary hormones के secretions को. Now for example, a hypothalamic hormone called as the gonadotropin releasing hormone, the GnRH. It is the GnRH is a hypothalamic hormone. Hypothalamic hormone matlab it is released from the hypothalamus, and what it is doing, it stimulates the pituitary synthesis and also releases the gonadotropins. On the other hand, जो दूसरा हार्मोन होता है the somatostatin from the hypothalamus, it is also an hypothalamic hormone, और ये क्या कर रहा है, it inhibits the release of growth hormone from the pituitary. So this is the releasing function as well as the inhibiting function. जो फर्स्ट वन है गोनाडोट्रोफिन रिलीजिंग हार्मोन, वो क्या कर रहा है, वो स्टिमुलेट कर रहा है पिट्यूटरी सिंथेसिस को और गोनाडोट्रोफिन के रिलीज को, बट जो सोमैटोस्टैटिन है वो इनहिबिट कर रहा है. So these are working antagonistically. Antagonistically means working opposite to each other. Then these hormones originating in the hypothalamic neurons, they pass through axons and are released from their nerve endings. So the neuron consists of many different branches, the axons, the dendrons जो कि different messages को chemicals को pass on करती हैं further. So that's why these hormones, they originate in the hypothalamic neurons. They are present in the brain, and as hypothalamus is present in the brain region, that's why it is producing these hormones with the help of the nerve endings, and these nerve endings lead the hormones to release to the different parts of the body. Then these hormones reach the pituitary gland through a portal circulatory system and regulate the functions of the anterior pituitary. अब ये जो hormones release हो रहे थे hypothalamus के neuron से through the nerve endings, ये कहाँ पर पहुँचते हैं, pituitary gland पे, and from the pituitary gland ये regulate करते हैं functions of the anterior pituitary. Pituitary is also again divided into two regions, the anterior and the posterior. So जो anterior पिट्यूटरी के फंक्शंस रेगुलेट करता है दैट इज बाय द कंट्रोल ऑफ हाइपोथैलेमिक हार्मोन्स. सब आपस में इंटरकनेक्टेड है, एवरीथिंग इज रिलेटेड टू वन अनदर, दैट्स व्हाई इट इज अ कंप्लीट कोऑर्डिनेटेड सिस्टम. द पोस्टीरियर पिट्यूटरी इज अंडर द डायरेक्ट न्यूरल रेगुलेशन ऑफ द हाइपोथैलेमस. सो हाइपोथैलेमस डिफरेंट ग्लैंड्स को रेगुलेट करता है फॉर प्रोड्यूसिंग डिफरेंट हार्मोन्स, एंड then these again will stimulate some other things to produce different chemicals. So this is all a regulated function that is happening in our body, and everything is interconnected with one another. Then comes the pituitary gland. So the pituitary gland, where it is located in a body cavity called sella turcica, and it is attached to the hypothalamus by a stalk. Again pituitary gland is located near the brain region only, and in the brain there is present a bony cavity. A bony cavity means a cavity that is surrounded by all the bones, and it is called as sella turcica, and it is attached to the hypothalamus by a stalk, and it is divided anatomically into adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. The pituitary gland, though different anatomically means on what basis it is being defined, और ये किस चीज़ से बना हुआ है. So neurophysis mainly contains those which are directly related to the brain, or adenophysis which are regulating other functions. So that's why anatomically means the cells that are making up these glands. So the pituitary gland is of two types, neurohypophysis and adenohypophysis. Or adenohypophysis again divide hota hai into pars intermedia and pars distalis. Now adenohypophysis consists of two portions, the pars distalis and the pars intermedia. जो pars distalis region है pituitary का, it is also called as the anterior pituitary, and it produces growth hormones, prolactin, thyroid stimulating hormone, adrenocortico hormone, luteinizing hormone, and the follicular stimulating hormone. So these are the different hormones जो कि pars distalis रीजन ऑफ पिट्यूटरी प्रोड्यूस करता है, एंड दीज आर ऑल वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट हार्मोन्स. तो पहला कौन सा है, द एंटीरियर पिट्यूटरी जो प्रोड्यूस करती है द ग्रोथ हार्मोन्स, प्रोलैक्टिन हार्मोन्स. ग्रोथ हार्मोन्स आर सेड टू, फ्रॉम द नेम इटसेल्फ इट इज वेरी क्लियर कि दे आर रेगुलेटिंग द ग्रोथ इन आवर बॉडी. Second comes the prolactin, which is mainly related to the release of milk at the time of parturition. Then comes the thyroid stimulating hormone, which is regulating the amount of thyroid, the release of the thyroid gland in our body. Then comes the adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH, which is related to the kidney. Luteinizing hormone, which is related to the gonads, and follicular stimulating hormone is mainly the female hormone. It is related to the ovary and the release of the ovum. So these are the different pituitary parts of the pituitary and how they are regulating the different functions. Then the pars intermedia, what it is doing, it secretes only one hormone, what it is called the melanocyte stimulating hormone. You have to learn कि कौन सा part कौन सा hormone release कर रहा है, and what are the different functions of these different hormones. So pars distalis is releasing so much hormones, and pars intermedia is releasing or secreting only one hormone, that is called as the melanocyte stimulating hormone. The neurohypophysis जो region है, the pars nervosa, it is also called as posterior pituitary. तो अभी तक हम बात कर रहे थे anterior pituitary की. Anterior pituitary क्या कौन से different parts में divided था, the pars intermedia, pars distalis, और then we talked about कि वो कौन से different hormones produce कर रहा है, pars distalis कौन से produce कर रहा है, pars intermedia कौन से produce कर रहा है. जो neurohypophysis region है, that is the posterior pituitary region, and it stores and the releases of two hormones. What are the two hormones जो यहाँ पे store होते हैं, the oxytocin and the vasopressin, which are actually synthesized by the hypothalamus and are transported axonally to the neurohypophysis. So जो store कर रहा है posterior pituitary दो hormones को, the oxytocin and the vasopressin, ये प्रोड्यूस तो होते हैं हाइपोथैलेमस में, विच इज़ द प्रेजेंट इन अपर रीजन टू द पिट्यूटरी ग्लैंड, बट ये सिर्फ स्टोरेज का काम कर रहा है, प्रोडक्शन हाइपोथैलेमस में ही हो रहा है. और ये ट्रांसफ़र कैसे होते हैं, एक्सोनली मीन्स एक्सॉन्स के थ्रू, जो कि न्यूरॉन्स में एक्सॉन एंडिंग्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं, उसके थ्रू ये जो हाइपोथैलेमस में प्रोड्यूस होके पिट्यूटरी पोस्टीरियर पिट्यूटरी में आते हैं और यहाँ पे स्टोर हो जाते हैं बाय द एक्सॉन्स, एंड देन दे एक्यूमुलेट इन द न्यूरोफाइसिस रीजन. This is how the two hormones oxytocin and vasopressin are being stored in the posterior pituitary. Then the oversecretion जो होता है growth hormone का, it stimulates abnormal growth of the body leading to gigantism, and low secretion of growth hormones resulted in the stunted growth. अगर growth hormone का production ज़्यादा हो जाएगा, ग्रोथ हार्मोन कहाँ प्रोड्यूस हो रहा था, पार्स डिस्टेलिस में, अगर इसका प्रोडक्शन ज़्यादा हो जाएगा तो जो बॉडी ग्रोथ होगा वो एबनॉर्मल हो जाएगा, और जो बॉडी कंडीशन हो जाएगी दैट विल बी कॉल्ड एज गाइगेंटिज्म, बॉडी विल बी वेरी जायंट. एंड अगर इसका लो सिक्रेशन होगा तो अगेन बॉडी की ग्रोथ नहीं होगी, और जो ग्रोथ होगी वो बहुत कम होगी, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द स्टंटेड ग्रोथ. देन it will also could lead to the dwarfism condition. Prolactin hormone, it regulates the growth of the mammary gland and the formation of milk. And TSH, the thyroid stimulating hormone, what it is function, it stimulates the synthesis and secretion of thyroid hormones. So these are the different hormones and the different functions from the pituitary. The ACTH. What is the ACTH? Adenocorticotropic hormone. It stimulates the synthesis and secretion of steroid hormones called glucocorticoids from the adrenal cortex. तो ACTH का मेन फंक्शन है इट स्टिमुलेट करने का. स्टिमुलेट मतलब प्रोडक्शन को बढ़ाने का या इनिशिएट करने का. तो इट स्टिमुलेट द सिंथेसिस एंड सिक्रीशन of steroid hormones. What are the steroid hormones called? The glucocorticoids, and these are released from the adrenal cortex. So that's why the name is adrenal corticotropic hormone, क्योंकि ये adrenal cortex में से steroid hormones को release कर रहा है. And what is the steroid hormone called? The glucocorticoids. Then the LH and FSH, the luteinizing hormone and the follicular stimulating hormone, they stimulate the gonadal activity. I told you they are mainly related to the gonads, the ovary and the testes, and that's why they are also called as gonadotropins. In males, the LH stimulates the synthesis and secretion of hormones called androgens from testes. In males, the FSH and androgens, they regulate the spermatogenesis. So what is the function of LH? The luteinizing hormone क्या करता है? वो stimulate करता है synthesis and secretion. बनाता भी वही है और then whenever the formation या synthesis complete हो जाता है तो वो उसको secrete करता है. और the hormones जो वो secrete करता है that are called androgens, और androgens are related to the male and that's why they are released from the testes. और in males में FSH जो होता है वो क्या काम करता है? देन एफएसएच एंड एंड्रोजन कंबाइन करते हैं और वो रेगुलेट करते हैं स्पर्मेटोजेनेसिस, दैट इज द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ स्पर्म्स. देन इन फीमेल्स हाउ द एलएच इज वर्किंग? एलएच induces ovulation of fully mature ovules, that is the graphene follicle. जो graphene follicle होता है that is the fully mature follicle which is containing inside the ovules, and the LH is maintaining that inside the graphene follicle, and it is also maintaining the corpus luteum formed from the ruminants of the graphene follicles after ovulation. पहले ये graphene follicle को maintain करता है to capture to let the ovary inside it to grow to a particular size, और जब ovulation कंप्लीट होने के टाइम पे हो जब आ जाता है एंड तो उस टाइम पे कॉर्पस ल्यूटियम जो वॉल बनती है उसको भी मेंटेन करता है. what is the hormone that is doing all this? The luteinizing hormone. और FSH का क्या फंक्शन है? FSH स्टिमुलेट करता है ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द ओवेरियन फॉलिकल्स इन फीमेल. सो LH और FSH का मेल और फीमेल में क्या डिफरेंट फंक्शंस होता है, वी टॉक्ड अबाउट दैट. देन कम्स द MSH, द मेलानोसाइट सिक्रीटिंग हार्मोन. ये कहाँ से रिलीज हो रहा था? फ्रॉम द पास डिस्टेलिस, जो एक ही हार्मोन पास इंटरमीडिया से रिलीज हो रहा था, दैट इज MSH, एंड इट एक्ट्स अपॉन द मेलानोसाइट्स. द मेलानोसाइट्स क्या होते हैं? मेलानो मीन्स मेलानिन कंटेनिंग सेल्स, साइट्स मीन्स सेल्स. दैट्स व्हाई MSH जो होता है डायरेक्टली एक्ट्स अपॉन द मेलानोसाइट्स एंड इट रेगुलेट्स द पिगमेंटेशन ऑफ द बॉडी. अगर व्हेनेवर द पिगमेंटेशन ऑफ द बॉडी इज कंसर्न, तो जो MSH होता है दैट इज डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली रिलेटेड टू दैट. Then what is oxytocin? Oxytocin acts as smooth muscles of our body. कहाँ पे oxytocin act करता है? Smooth muscles पे, और stimulate करता है contraction. As we all know, contraction और relaxation हमारी smooth muscles में होते रहते हैं for bringing about the motion in our body. So जो oxytocin है, its main function is to do that. और ये सबसे ज़्यादा किस टाइम पे यूज़ होता है? In females, it stimulates the vigorous contraction of uterus at the time of childbirth and milk ejection. तो जो इनिशिएट करता है द डायलेशन और द different contraction and relaxation at the time of parturition, that is the delivery of the baby. In the females, it stimulate vigorous contraction of the uterus, और जब uterine wall contract और relax होती है, then the delivery of the baby occurs, and milk ejection में भी oxytocin related होता है. Then the hormone which is vasopressin, it acts mainly at the kidney and stimulates the reabsorption of water. So water reabsorption का काम करता है vasopressin, which is acting upon the kidney. As we all know कि kidney is said to be the main organ of excretion, and it is directly or indirectly related to the water storage. तो vasopressin act करता है किडनी पे, और किडनी का जो किडनी में वाटर का रीअब्जॉर्प्शन होता है वो vasopressin करता है, एंड vasopressin don't let our body dehydrate very quickly. और except doing that, many electrolytes are also being reabsorbed by the vasopressin by the distal tubules, and thereby reduces loss of water through urine, दैट इज़ डायूरेसिस. तो अगर हमारी बॉडी से बहुत ज़्यादा वाटर लॉस हो जाता है यूरिन के थ्रू, देन दैट कंडीशन इज कॉल्ड डायूरेसिस. और डायूरेसिस को प्रिवेंट कौन करता है? द वासोप्रेसिन. एंड दैट्स वाई Vasopressin is also called as the ADH, or the antidiuretic hormone. Antidiuretic means कि ये diuresis को inhibit कर रहा है, that is the excessive loss of water from the urine. That's why it is also called as the antidiuretic hormone. Now we'll talk about the pineal gland. Pineal gland is also located in the brain region, and it is located on the dorsal side of the forebrain. जो pineal gland है, what does it secrete? It secretes a hormone called melatonin, and melatonin का क्या काम होता है? It plays a very important role in the regulation of a 24-hour rhythm of our body. So the sleep cycle जो हमारी body में होती है, that is being regulated by the pineal gland only. And which hormone? Pineal gland is secreting the melatonin, or melatonin plays or regulates the rhythm of our body, that is the sleep cycle of our body, and it helps in maintaining the normal rhythms of sleep awake cycle body temperature. जो body temperature होता है और जो rhythm हमारी body में होता है, that is sleep and awake जो rhythms होते हैं हमारी बॉडी में, उसको मेंटेन करता है द मेलाटोनिन विच इज सिक्रेटेड फ्रॉम द पीनियल ग्लैंड. एंड इन एडिशन मेलाटोनिन और क्या करता है? इट ऑल्सो इन्फ्लुएंसेस द मेटाबॉलिज्म, पिगमेंटेशन एंड मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल एज वेल एज आर डिफेंस कैपेबिलिटी. So melatonin, it is also a very important hormone, and melatonin is also related to the light. That's why जो melatonin का content होता है, जो secretion होता है, it is mainly high during the night time and when the sun rises. So इसका जो secretion होता है वो कम हो जाता है. So that's why it is regulating the rhythm of our body by regulating the sleep and awake cycle in our body. So this is the location where the pineal gland is said to be located. Then comes the thyroid gland. What is the function and where it is located? So the thyroid gland is composed of two lobes. What are the where are they located? On the each side of the trachea. So trachea is the windpipe in our body. So उसके दोनों side पे दो जो lobes होते हैं thyroid gland के, वो locate होते हैं, and both the lobes are interconnected with a thin flap of connective tissue called isthmus. So I'll show you in the diagram how does it look like. तो ये जो दो लोब्स हैं थायराइड ग्लैंड के, ये ट्रैकिया के दोनों साइड पे लोकेटेड होते हैं, और ये जो दोनों लोब्स इंटरकनेक्टेड होते हैं जिस थिन लाइन से, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज isthmus. Then the thyroid gland, it composed of follicles and stromal tissues, and every thyroid follicle is composed of follicular cells enclosing a cavity. तो thyroid gland अगेन ये कुछ फॉलिकल्स और स्टोमल टिश्यूज़ के बने होते हैं, और जो एवरी थायराइड फॉलिकल होता है वो कंपोज होता है फॉलिकुलर सेल का, एंड इट इज़ एनक्लोजिंग इटसेल्फ कैविटी. सो दीज आर हॉलो इन नेचर. तो थायराइड ग्लैंड किसका बना होता है? फॉलिकल्स का और स्टोमल टिश्यूज़ का, और जो फॉलिकल्स होते हैं वो किसके बने होते हैं? दे आर फॉर्म्ड ऑफ द फॉलिकुलर सेल्स. सो सबसे स्मॉलेस्ट यूनिट क्या हुई? द फॉलिकुलर सेल्स. और ये फॉलिकुलर सेल्स जब कंबाइन होते हैं तो फॉलिकुलर टिश्यूज बनाते हैं, और इसी का जो थायराइड ग्लैंड होता है वो बना हुआ होता है. देन दीज फॉलिकुलर सेल्स सिंथेसाइज टू हार्मोन्स. व्हाट आर द टू हार्मोन्स दैट दे आर सिंथेसाइजिंग? द टेट्राआयोडोथायरोनिन और द थायरोक्सिन एंड द ट्राईआयोडोथायरोनिन. तो T4 and T3 टेट्रा, four thyroid or the four thyroxine is present, and the triiodo only 3 are present. So the two hormones are being synthesized by the follicular cells of the thyroid gland. और ये T3 is the more important one, और T4 जो होता है वो प्रोड्यूस होता है, और वो T4 कंटिन्यूसली T3 में कन्वर्ट होता जाता है by the loss of one iodine from it. So iodine is the essential for the normal rate of hormonal synthesis in the thyroid. तो जो सबसे ज़्यादा important element जो play करता है role in the thyroid synthesis और thyroid gland में, that is the iodine, and it is essential for the normal rate of hormone synthesis in the thyroid. Deficiency of iodine in our diet results in hypothyroidism and enlargement of the thyroid gland, commonly called as goiter. तो कभी कभी you must have seen in some people the neck region sollens or it becomes enlarges, and it is due to the deficiency of iodine. जब iodine हमारी body में कम होता है तो it could lead to a condition that is called as hypo means less, and thyroidism. So the hypothyroidism is commonly called as goiter, and in that the neck region of the person infected of the person who is undergoing this disease, that region increases, and hypothyroidism during pregnancy causes defect in the development and maturation of the growing baby. और जो बेबी ग्रो हो रहा है, इफ़ द फीमेल हु इज़ बेरिंग द बेबी इफ़ शी इज़ हैविंग दिस कंडीशन द हाइपोथायरॉयडिज्म, तो बेबी को ये अफेक्ट करता है. इन अडल्ट वुमेन हाइपोथायरॉयडिज्म में कॉज इरेगुलरिटी इन द मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल. सो अगर हाइपोथायरॉयडिज्म कंडीशन है किसी फीमेल को, तो इट कुड ऑल्सो create problem in her menstrual cycle. Then ड्यू टू द कैंसर ऑफ थायराइड ग्लैंड, अगर थायराइड ग्लैंड में कैंसर हो जाता है तो जो रेट ऑफ सिंथेसिस होता है सिक्रीशन का ऑफ द हार्मोन वो इंक्रीज हो जाता है. सो वी ऑल नो कि कैंसर सेल्स कौन से सेल्स होते हैं जो जिनमें जो हैव द अनलिमिटेड कैपेसिटी टू डिवाइड. तो दैट्स वाई अगर वो डिवाइड होते जाएंगे तो जो अमाउंट ऑफ थायराइड सिंथेसिस है और सिक्रीशन है और उस हार्मोन का वो बढ़ता जाएगा. तो इट कैन रिलीज टू अ कंडीशन दैट इज हाइपरथायरॉयडिज्म, क्योंकि यहाँ पे हार्मोन बहुत ज़्यादा अमाउंट में रिलीज हो रहा है. एंड इट ऑल्सो एडवर्सली अफेक्ट्स द बॉडी फिजियोलॉजी. तो both the conditions are bad if it is in less amount or if it is in more amount. Thyroid plays very important role in the regulation of the basal metabolic rate, that is BMR. हमारी बॉडी का BMR जो होता है the basal metabolic rate, it is regulated by the thyroid hormones and it is also supporting the process of RBC formation. जो red blood cells form होते हैं that are under the influence of thyroid hormones only. Thyroid hormones also control the metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, and also the maintenance of water and electrolyte balance in is also influenced by thyroid hormones. So thyroid hormones बहुत ही important hormone होता है क्योंकि ये हमारे जो हम different food लेते हैं that is maybe it in the form of carbohydrate or fats or proteins, इनका जो metabolism होता है the breaking down, it is also related to the thyroid hormones only. और जो वाटर और इलेक्ट्रोलाइट बैलेंस होता है बॉडी का वो भी थायराइड हार्मोन ही मेंटेन करते हैं. थायराइड ग्लैंड ऑल्सो सिक्रीट्स अ प्रोटीन विच इज कॉल्ड एज द थायरोकैल्सिटोनिन एंड इट रेगुलेट्स द ब्लड. सो दीज आर द डिफरेंट फंक्शंस ऑफ थायराइड ग्लैंड एंड हाउ थायराइड ग्लैंड इज सो मच इंपॉर्टेंट. उसकी डिफिशियंसी हो जाती है या उसका जो अमाउंट है वो हमारी बॉडी में ज़्यादा हो जाता है, देन बोथ कैन बी वेरी मच प्रॉब्लमैटिक. Then I showed you the position of the thyroid gland and where both these are connected by an isthmus. Then comes the parathyroid gland. The parathyroid gland in humans, they are 4 in number. So in humans 4 parathyroid glands are present on the back side of the thyroid gland. अगर thyroid gland यहाँ पर present है तो अगर हम इसको turn कर देंगे completely, तो ये जो है यहाँ पे that here we can see the presence of parathyroid gland and these are 4 in number in the case of humans. And they are present on the back side of the thyroid gland and one pair each in the 2 lobes of the thyroid gland. तो ये जो different lobes हैं you can see, तो इसको हम अगर हम टर्न करेंगे तो इस टर्न करने पे हमें दिखेगा कि ये जो डिफरेंट लोब्स हैं दो 2 lobes are present, 2 parathyroid glands are present in 1 lobe. ये एक लोब है तो इसमें 2 हैं और ये एक लोब है तो इसमें 2 हैं. सो दिस इज कंप्लीट 4 parathyroid glands present in the humans. The parathyroid glands, they secrete a peptide hormone which is called as parathyroid hormone, the PTH. And the secretion of the parathyroid hormone is regulated by the circulating levels of the calcium ion. So जो PTH होता है, जो parathyroid gland है, वो directly related होता है कैल्शियम की लेवल से हमारी बॉडी में. अगर कैल्शियम ज़्यादा होगा या कम होगा वो that will decide जो पैराथायरॉयड हार्मोन होगा how will it get regulated. So parathyroid hormone जो होता है that it increases the calcium levels in the blood and PTH acts on bones and stimulates the process of bone resorption, that is dissolution or demineralization. तो the PTH का main function क्या होता है? It acts upon bones because we all know that our bones are mainly made up of phosphorus and calcium. तो ये जो PTH होता है वो increase करता है कैल्शियम का हमारी ब्लड में and then this PTH acts upon bones and it stimulates the process of bone resorption. तो यहाँ पे dissolution of the bone start हो जाता है और demineralization start हो जाता है. Then PTH also stimulates the reabsorption of calcium by the renal tubules and increases calcium absorption from the digested food. So PTH is mainly related to the reabsorption of the calcium and increase of the calcium levels in our body. It is very clear that PTH is hypercalcemic hormone. Hypercalcemic means that it is increasing the amount of calcium in our body and that's why it is completely related to the amount of calcium in our body. So this is how these are the different glands, 5 glands of our body. Rest we will discuss in the next class. For now this much is enough.